What is going on? Welcome back to the Grace-Filled Leader podcast. Hey, do you struggle to find time to prioritize your health? Do you find yourself shopping for bigger sizes because you've gained weight and you feel too overwhelmed to even think about exercising or meal planning? I have talked to so many professional women recently, and I've also observed some of the physical changes in others, which confirmed what seems to be a common struggle. I've noticed that as people take on more responsibility, leadership roles, there's often a progressive change in their physical appearance and demeanor. They appear more fatigued, more stressed, and they seem to struggle a bit more with weight gain. I'm here to tell you I've also struggled with the same things. Today, I'm here asking for a friend, or lots of friends. This past year, I've been putting just about everything else before my health, trying to balance work and family while also trying to build a coaching business. Meanwhile, my midsection has been growing and my energy has been dwindling. Let's just say I'm feeling uncomfortable enough that I need to move my health a little higher on the priority list. And I am making you and our Facebook community my accountability partners. If you find yourself in the same or similar boat, needing to commit to some healthier habits that are realistic and attainable, I invite you to join me. I'm going to share some of the steps I take. I'm going to be honest about my successes and my struggles. And I'm going to share what I learn along the way. Things that work and things that don't work with the busy life I live. If you want to join me in this journey to give or to get support, please join the Facebook community or leave me a message. Let me know what you struggle with, what the barriers are to getting and maintaining healthy habits, and what motivates you to make health a higher priority. Links for the Facebook community and ways to leave me a message are in the show notes. Or you can go to gracefilledleader.com/community or gracefilledleader.com/contact. So today is day 1 of sharing where I am starting or restarting with my journey toward having a healthier body. I'm starting with 5 habits that I'm going to commit to. These are habits that should be attainable and realistic for busy women like me. So stay tuned as we dig into this topic. Welcome to the Grace-Filled Leader podcast. Do you want better work-life balance? Do you get stuck in patterns of perfectionism and people-pleasing? Have you always been an overachiever, but never really feel good enough, no matter how much outward success you achieve? Hi, I'm Tanya, a wife, mom, leader, Christian life coach, and Jesus lover. For most of my life, I tried to find worthiness through achievement, but no matter how hard I worked or how much I achieved, I never felt like I was enough. I was left burned out, empty, and exhausted. I had no time or energy for myself or my family. I needed balance. I needed peace. I finally started to live like an unconditionally loved daughter of the King, saved by grace. This faith-led podcast will teach you self-care routines and practical leadership strategies to help you navigate life and leadership. If you're ready to stop people-pleasing and start living and leading God's way, this podcast is for you. Unbutton your blazers and roll up your sleeves, sister friends. It's time to get after it. Okay, I'm going to share a little backstory. I've struggled with my body image and fluctuating weight all of my life. I struggled with bulimia much of my high school and college years. And I've tried just about every type of pill or quick fix you can think of. I usually find some success that lasts for a while, but then I let life and stress take over and I start to slip. I have about a 20 to 25 pound range of weight fluctuation, which is quite a bit on my 5'1" frame. If I look back, the thing that has been a constant barrier to having sustained success is the time it takes to plan, shop, wash, chop, prepare, etc. Then you add life stressors, and eventually I start turning to food as comfort instead of a source of nourishment. A couple of years ago, I did a program that was very successful. I saw really quick results and I lost about 18 pounds. It was a meal replacement program, so it addressed the time and the planning problem. I just had to grab and go for breakfast, lunch, and snacks, and basically only had to plan my dinner meal. I lost a lot of weight fairly quickly. However, as is the case for any sustainable program, you have to start incorporating more real food into your plan to maintain. Which is great, until I start cheating and adding goodies and a glass of wine here and there, and then the here and there turns into every day. Then I started trying to build a business and I stopped making time for exercise. I had been running several miles several times a week and I basically stopped. Now I'm almost 20 pounds heavier. I haven't run in 2 years, and just trying to run feels really hard again. My body hurts more, I'm tired, and I pee my pants when I try to do anything somewhat strenuous. Okay, sorry, too much information. Well, I'm tired of feeling tired and uncomfortable. I want to feel better in my clothes, and I want to have more energy for my business and my family. So I have to get back on track. But it has to be reasonable. And I want to eat real food. I need to do something that will be healthier for the long term. I don't have much margin in my day, so it can't be complicated. I need to take it in reasonable steps in order to build something that is sustainable and won't feel miserable. So folks, these are the first 5 things I'm starting with that are habits that are shown to contribute to longevity and better health. My plan is, as I'm successful with these first foundational habits, I'm going to try to add a new healthy habit or eliminate one unhealthy habit each week or so thereafter. So my first 5. Number 1, I'm going to eat a healthy breakfast every day. And when I say healthy, that means it's going to include an appropriate amount of protein, whole grain, and ideally a fruit or vegetable and maybe a little healthy fat. Number 2, I'm going to be intentional about drinking water throughout the day, with a goal of drinking 64 ounces per day. Number 3, I'm going to intentionally move my body for 30 minutes at least 4 days per week. Number 4, I'm going to choose more whole foods and fewer refined or processed foods, eating food that's closer to the way God made it. And finally, number 5, I'm going to be mindful when tempted to eat or drink something that will not contribute to my health goals, but I will show myself grace. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means stopping and taking the time to ask myself, do I want to eat or drink this? Will this help me get closer to my goal? Yes or no? Do I still want to eat or drink this? If yes, I'm going to have it. I'm not going to feel shame or guilt, and I'm going to move on to making the next healthy decision. My intent is to try to avoid sugar for a while to just get a jump start. I know myself well enough that I just need to do that in order to set myself up to want to continue with a healthy eating plan, and so that I start to feel more energy. But I'm giving myself some grace. If I choose to indulge, I'm going to do so mindfully, and I'm not going to should all over myself. I will have a little and I'm going to move on. If my thinking is otherwise too rigid, I know that I will start to have anxiety and overwhelm, and I'll get obsessive. So I don't know what is right for you, but I am certain that grace needs to be part of the equation so that you do not self-sabotage. Sometimes the enjoyment you get from a small indulgence is worth it, and it allows you to persevere in the longer-term goal. Now, being the overachiever, perfectionist that I am, I'm tempted to commit to a few more habits, but I want to set myself up for success and resist the urge to create goals and action steps that are unrealistic or overwhelming. The idea is to start and continue in a way that is not overwhelming and will allow for a building or stacking of healthy habits over time. While I do want to see some results quickly, I also need to think about long-term success. And I want to feel like I can enjoy life while I'm getting healthier. This really does go against my historical trends of all or nothing thinking and behaving. But where has that gotten me? It's gotten me inconsistency, and it has led to self-deprecating behaviors. I'm dang near 50. I'm not going to have the body of a 20 or 30-year-old. However, I certainly can make choices that allow for a healthier body than I'm at right now. I need energy to do the work that God has for me, and I know that this temple through which He does His work performs better when it's properly cared for. Now, I know some of you might already be overwhelmed thinking about how you're going to make time even for those 5 habits. So let's talk about it. So first, eating a healthy breakfast. How am I going to make time for that? Well, here are some ideas. I'm going to have to do a little planning. I'm going to try to use a weekly menu plan. I don't mind being redundant when it comes to what I eat for breakfast and lunch. I'm going to find 1 or 2 easy but healthy balanced breakfast ideas that include protein, a little healthy fat, a little fruit or veggie, and maybe some whole grains. An example might be some overnight oats with half a banana and a little natural peanut butter. As I identify the ingredients I'll need for the week, I'm going to add them to my online shopping cart. I've started shopping at Aldi's because it's cheaper, it's good quality, and they offer curbside pickup. Online grocery shopping with curbside pickup has been such a remarkable anxiety reducer for me. I hate going into stores. I really hate it. It is just not a way that I enjoy spending my very limited time. I'm also going to take a little time the evening before each day to look at my next day, look at my menu plan, and either prep some that evening, or if I'm too tired, I'm sometimes better off just getting up a half hour earlier to make my breakfast and lunch, and then get out whatever meat I might need to thaw for dinner. Side note, if you're someone that gets to be in your home on the weekends and you have time to do bigger meal prep on Sunday, whether that's chopping all of your vegetables for the week or cooking some of your meats in bigger quantities to freeze or refrigerate, that is a really smart and efficient thing to consider. Unfortunately, I rarely have that ability, so I choose to just prep a day at a time. So on to habit number 2, drinking water. Well, that sounds simpler than it seems to be for me. I can sometimes go all day and I'll realize I didn't even stop to take a drink of water. So something that I've done in the past that worked for me was to set a timer on my phone for every 30 minutes to remind me to take a drink of water. It sounds a little silly, but it worked, and that's going to be my plan. Habit number 3, moving my body for 30 minutes at least 4 days per week. For now, I'm going to find a 30-minute block in my calendar and schedule a walk. In nice weather, it'll be going outside. When winter rolls around, it'll likely become a treadmill walk or some other kind of indoor activity. But I will schedule it at a time that I am most likely to be successful. Right now, that is over my lunch break. Habit number 4. I'm going to choose more whole, natural foods and less processed foods. That is where I need to be ready to plan a little and do my grocery order for the week. It does take a little time, but it doesn't have to take long, especially if I keep it simple. And finally, habit number 5, mindfulness and grace. I need to be intentional about stopping to think and remembering I have a choice. Once I make a choice, I will allow myself grace for whatever that choice is. If I choose to indulge, so be it. I will enjoy it and then commit to my next healthy choice. That doesn't take as much time as it takes a rewiring of my brain. I have played those condemning voices in my head for so many years. It truly takes intention and God's help to create a new pathway, a new tape, a new story. So I guess that's a bonus 6th habit that I'm adding. I'm also going to surrender this part of my life to God. I try to do that every day, where I just surrender the day and my life and my family over to God. But this thing that I've struggled with so much in my life, I think I forget to specifically surrender that over to God. My weight, my struggles around weight, my desire to want to do healthy things. So I'm adding that. I'm going to ask for God's help in this area. So let the journey begin again. Who's going to join me? I would love any added support and accountability I can get. Join us over in the Grace-Filled Leader Facebook community or send me a message. Let's do this, my friends. I'll see you back on Friday. Have a fabulous week. I pray this episode blessed you, spoke to you, or encouraged you in some way. If so, please share it with a friend and head on over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. That's the only way for me to know if you're enjoying the show. Nothing blesses me more than to hear from you. Also, come on over to our free Facebook community. This is a great place for us to support one another on our faith and leadership journeys. You can find the link to the group in the show notes or go to gracefilledleader.com/community. If you have questions or content ideas for the show, please send me a message on SpeakPipe or via email. Go to gracefilledleader.com/contact and leave a written or voice recorded message. I would love to know how I can best serve you on the podcast. Now to Him who can do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3, verse 20. Until next time, my friends, God bless.